Okay, good afternoon, everyone. First off, thank you so much for taking the time and joining us, right? Especially in the middle of a busy Thursday afternoon, depending on where you are, what time zone. But most important, we want you to walk away with nuggets from today's presentation. We're doing something very unique. It's a first ever here at Levinson. And the reason why we're doing this is, as you know, every week we huddle up with our team and we try to figure out what is going to help our agents make more sales, bottom line. So we basically decided, and this is based on our agents' feedback, our agency's feedback, that it would be best, right, if I come on here live, which I am. Annalise is at the controls, and then we have Carlos, right, who runs the Ringy CRM tool with Bradley, and then have a real live agent on the phone that's going to share his experience prior to using Ringy, right? And then post. So you're going to hear both sides and how his practice changed, obviously, for the better. And the reason why, once again, is we figured that, when I speak about this, when Carlos speaks about this, we're kind of like on the outside. We're not in the trenches with you all. So hearing it from a live agent is second to none, in my opinion, and I think you all can relate in a great way. Also, and you've been watching us market Ringy, and you heard Ringy's presentation at our expo, which is all wonderful, right? We know it makes a lot of sense. But what we wanted to share is we're also using Ringy, right, as an IMO, as an agency. And here's how, and you're probably scratching your head saying, well, Levinson doesn't sell on a retail level. Why would we use Ringy? So we use this system to go after and recruit agents. Okay. And, very simply put, there's no secret sauce. We run our Facebook ads. Now, think about this, because you should be doing the same thing on a retail level. So we run our Facebook ads, right? And we show the agents how great it is to work with Levinson and check out all of our tools and Insure Me Now Direct. And guess what? We get in about 100 to 200 agent leads per week. Okay, so we know when we reach back out to them, okay, maybe 3 out of 10 times, we get the agent on the phone. They love what we have. They want to get appointed and start writing, which is great. But what about the other 7 out of 10? Right? So we take all of those agents and we put them into our Ringy platform. And guess what? Right? And by the way, there's thousands and thousands in there, right, over the last year. But you take all of those agents, and most of the time they're going to sit up on a shelf and collect dust. What Ringy does, it hits them from all corners of communication. Okay, text message, email, phone call, through different campaigns over and over again until the agent clicks, hey, I want to talk to a Levinson marketer tomorrow at 2:30 p.m. And guess what happens? Out of the seven, okay, we're gaining about 2 to 3 new agents from one of those lead, call it an agent lead that was sitting on the shelf. Okay, the numbers are like 20 to 30% of all agent leads, or in your case, consumer leads, are clicking schedule an appointment. Let's talk more. So I believe in this so much. I said to Carlos, look, we have to put together a two-part training series for the Levinson agents, which we did. And this is part one. And not only do we have to put this together, I want to have thousands of agents listening and learning, right? Because I know it works. So we decided to put together a combination of over $4,000 in total of prizes, Amazon gift cards, Apple iPad. We have a Fire 10 tablet, AirPod Pros, Apple iWatch, a 6-month Ringy subscription. Okay, and more, by the way. We're also giving away 150 second chance leads. Now, here's the caveat. We're going to give away two today at the end. Okay, and by the way, you got to pay attention and write down your notes, because the questions have to do with what I'm going over and what Carlos is going over today. So we're going to give away two of those prizes today at the end, so right before 4 p.m., and then the rest of the gifts in cash and Amazon giveaway cards we're going to give away at the end of part 2, and you have to be on both trainings. So a total of 2 hours, 1 hour today, and then 1 hour on part 2, which is in November. So very important stuff. I want you not only to walk away with nuggets and start to utilize Ringy, okay, but change the way you sell, especially coming into a new year right around the corner. And it doesn't matter if you're focused on life insurance, health insurance, annuities. This works for everyone, right? It's just an automated follow-up system that you never had before. So, and I'll also say this before I jump in, because I know I'm ranting again, we don't make any money on this. Okay, so the discount is passed along to you. It's almost like a Costco approach. We have so many agents, right, that are using the service, right? We get 30% off for the first 6 months for the Levinson agents. So $69 a month, and then it goes to $99 after 6 months. And all Levinson agents get a 2-week free trial. So you don't even have to sign a 1-year contract, nothing. You can try it out for 2 weeks, see if you like it, done, free. Okay, so no skin off your back. There's no contracts. You don't have to sign up for a year, 5 years. You're not stuck in any way. Okay, you want to try it for 6 months? Fine. 1 month? Fine. Whatever it is. So I want you all to know that this isn't like one of those infomercials that you see at 2 a.m. on channel 831, whatever it is. Okay, this is to help you all sell more product. That's it. Okay. Let's jump right into slide 2. So real fast, what I want to go over, and this is fantastic news, especially coming into quarter 4 and for the new year. So we have a new, if we can, there we go, perfect. If we can go to slide 2, we have a new instant decision term product that is going to be on Insure Me Now Direct. And here's what's so cool about this. So let's focus on the right-hand side for a second. This is our brand new product that's going to be launched in about 4 weeks, right before the end of the year. So instant decision, 100% client driven, or you, the agent, can be involved in any way, shape, or form, or you just send a link or Insure Me Now Direct. Okay, doesn't matter. Instant decision to 2 million, standard or better cases. You ready for this? Comp amazing, plus renewals on term insurance, and fully convertible to whole life, which gives you an opportunity to make a second commission, and you are the agent of record. So this is no referral fee. Sage Scholarship approved. Okay, hello. I mean, this is amazing, and the prices are fantastic for an instant decision platform. And I'll just give you an example. So let's say with like a traditional AIG, Protective, Pac Life, you're looking at $1 million at Preferred Best, okay? The new product, Preferred Best, is equivalent to, let's say, Pac or Protective, Preferred. Okay, so it's within about 5 to 7%. But the convenience factor is huge, and it's an A-rated company with all of these bells and whistles. So Bestow, as of December 30th, is going to be no longer available on our platform, and then we're launching the brand new product, and I'm very excited because, as you know, before with Bestow, 1.5 million, now we're going to have 2 million, commissions better, renewals. With Bestow, there wasn't a conversion option. With the new product, there is. So, I mean, it is a win, 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 win across the board. And you're going to see more information. In fact, we just finalized this in the last 48 hours. So we're very excited. Let's keep moving. Okay. My birthday was last Thursday, and I decided to dedicate my birthday and October to Breast Cancer Awareness Month. As you can see the picture in front of you, we had everyone wear pink. We had the mascot there. That's my dog, Portia, on the right-hand side. First picture. We made it a day about giving back. Okay, we made a very generous donation to the American Cancer Society. On top of that, every application submitted in October until the 31st, we're donating $10. It doesn't matter if the app's declined, not taken, postponed. Every application, $10, we are donating to the ACS because it's all about giving back. And I wanted to thank all of you for helping us do this, because without you, we would never be in this position. Okay, so that's what October is all about, and that's what I wanted my birthday to be all about. So let's keep moving forward. Just wanted to thank everyone that's on this call for the constant support, because like I always say, we would never, ever be in this spot if it wasn't for you all. Okay, the 15th annual Levinson Expo is back, April 21st. Write it down. Best part, let's move over to the right-hand side. Number one, we're going to make this very unique. We've never done it before. We're going to have a stage with an agent panel. We're going to have live agents on the stage, and we're going to do like a round robin. I'm going to be the host, and then we're going to give all the agents in the crowd a chance to ask questions so they can share what their model looks and feels like, right? Life, annuity, health, supplemental products, all the above. And then starting at $25,000, you can qualify for one free night at our beachfront resort, up to $60,000. And this could be a combination of life, annuity, or supplemental health premium, doesn't matter. You can qualify for 2 nights at our beachfront resort right on the sand and round trip airfare. So you can make it a whole vacation. And then obviously Friday all day is our expo. If you've never written anything before, you're active with us. It's also free for you. Snacks, breakfast, lunch, all the above. We even do a dinner the night before for the out-of-town guests. It's going to be amazing, and I'm sure Ringy will be there again as well. So this is all great stuff. Just make sure the qualification period started already, so make sure that business is coming in now. You have until the end of March to get that premium in. Okay, let's jump right into the feature presentation. We have, it's crazy how this all worked out, but my friend Carlos is joining us. It's a very personal story. I know the CEO, Brad, and Carlos very well. And this whole opportunity is just one of those things that you dream about, and it all came to fruition. And the reason why I say you dream about this, and I don't say it lightly, is because I'm seeing the way this is changing our agents' lives by simplifying the follow-up process, okay, which is leading to more sales, point blank. Carlos, you there, buddy?
Yep, I'm here.
Okay, good stuff. All right, Carlos, we'll take it from here.
Awesome. And thanks for the intro, everybody. Thanks for being here. Yeah, we've been working together for a little bit of time now. It's definitely a cool story and how it all rolled out, but we're seeing much success. Grateful for the opportunity as well. And yeah, so we are doing a giveaway. It's a 2-part series. You do have to be here the next week as well in order to qualify, but Ringy will be giving away some cool stuff, some iPads, iWatch, some gift cards, $500 gift cards, 6-month subscription. I know Bill's thrown in 150 leads, a tablet, so pretty cool stuff right in time for the holidays. And yeah, so make sure you're on point with that. Like you said, take some notes. But we're going to do things a little different today. I know in the past it's been just myself, and we kind of just pick a topic and run with it and kind of do a little session there. But today I want to make it a little more interesting. I'm not going to be doing a lot of the talking. I'll do a little intro here, but I have someone that previously used nothing, or maybe just used a dialer or something like that, and then switched over to Ringy. And I want him to give you firsthand his success story. And it's really just going to be a conversation, so it should be fun. You don't have to sit back and take notes the entire time, but it will be cool. It'll be very relatable. You'll be able to kind of see from an agent's side how things were done and what changes happened, and kind of light bulb moments with him. That'll be Robbins. He'll be coming up next, and then I have Peter, who is an account executive with us for us as well. I want him to just briefly touch on some other client testimonials, real stories, not fabricated, just feedback that we get all the time. We run demos daily. I can't even tell you how many company-wide. We're maybe doing one-on-one demos, maybe 15 to 20 a day. That's not including people that just go ahead and sign up. And it's cool to see when people will email us or shoot us a text and say, hey, just landed this monster deal. Got a text back from Ringy from a lead that I put in here, 2 months ago. Awesome, and it's cool to hear that, from one of our account executives who are on the front lines dealing with GAs or just individual brokers like yourselves. So I want him to kind of share a few of those also. Annalise, if you want to maybe just share, give me the ability to share here if you haven't already.
Give us 1 second.
Sure. All right, and while she queues that up, I'll continue on with my spiel here. For those of you that don't know, Ringy it's technically a CRM, right? Which is hence the name Ringy CRM, but it's a lot more than that. It's a sales engagement tool is the best way I like to recognize it as. It's really a tool that you'll be able to use. Here we go. All right. Thank you. So it's really a tool that you'll be able to utilize in your business on the daily, right? In addition to that, not to spoil it for Brad, our CEO, but we are having another product being released soon. I won't spend too much time on that. I'm sure down the road we'll do an introduction for you guys, an exclusive introduction. But we're going to also have a full-blown power dialer. That's going to be more for your general agencies that focus more on just calling. Which we always recommend getting some SMS marketing involved in there. That's what Ringy is. But for those of you that are maybe running like W2 style call rooms, maybe you have a bunch of VAs or whatever it is that you just want people to make calls for you, we have a product that we'll be launching within the next couple of weeks that we'll introduce to you guys down the road. Right now, we're focusing on Ringy CRM, right? So Ringy is going to nurture your business for you. Any data that you have, you can upload into our software. It's going to do a lot of automation style work for you. So send out messages on scheduled basis. It's got video conferencing built in, calendar, personalized booking page link that you can share on your social media, your email signature, get some appointments booked, really without you doing much. So it's much more than just a CRM, right? Which traditionally is just going to give you like analytics on your business and kind of like client storage. You'll have a lot of outreach tools here. We'll, soft phone built into the software. So we like to think of it as an all-in-one CRM, right? It's basically, I talk to people on a daily basis that are using 4, 5, 6, 7 different softwares to manage their business, right? And they could be something as simple as Gmail, your calendar from Gmail, maybe Calendly, and some sort of texting software, if any, and then a phone, right? Well, we have all of that built in. You don't have to leave anything other than just like this one page you see here, right? It's a sneak peek as what it looks like for those of you that haven't seen it before. And you can basically just stay on this, right? Now, we know there's a lot of agents that are on the field, out in the field, right? That's still a very popular way of doing business. We have a mobile app as well. That's available for Apple and Android users, free of charge. You can use it as long as you have an account. And then best thing here is we have an exclusive promotion for Levinson agents. It's going to give you a 2-week free trial. So go ahead, sign up, try it out, see if you like it first. And then once you want to commit to it, we don't have any type of contracts, user agreements. You don't have to pay, for a year in advance or anything like that. It's a month-to-month product. After your 2 weeks, Levinson agents only, using setup code Levinson, or I believe he has it set up through your portal where you can sign up, and it'll give you 30% off of your subscription for 6 months. All right. We'd like to give everybody those 2 free weeks because we want you to see the power behind the software before you commit to it. I don't want to come off as, even though I am, director of sales, that is my role, is to sell our product. I don't want to come off as somebody who's just shoving this down your throat and telling you to use it. I want you to use it yourself and kind of see what I'm talking about before you commit to it. And almost always it's pretty promising once you get a hang of it and test it out for yourself, right? So we have a pretty cool little nifty website here. It's just ringy.com. I went to Use Case Insurance. As you can see, we deal with a lot of different verticals, but just so you can see, we have a lot of good content here that you can read on your own and just, dig around and see what's going to work out for you. We have account executives here. If you have some questions, you want a demo done. Some of you may have already done one with one of our account executives. You may be able to just get a one-on-one to show you the bells and whistles, give you some ideas, and we do that daily. We have a great customer service department that'll help you set up your account. If you're a GA and you have a team and you want to get them on our software as well, we have a dedicated support team that does onboarding for you. So they'll actually set up your account for you and your team. Add in your lead vendors, help you set up your files if you want to upload them, distribute them to your team. So we have a full-blown team here that's ready to help you tackle this if you need it. But we try to make it as user-friendly as possible. So that's kind of a little bit of my spiel here. Thanks again for letting me talk your ear off. I'm going to go ahead and hand it off to Robbins. Robbins will give you a little background of himself. Like I said, agent. He's dealt with both health and life insurance. And he's got a really cool story that I'm not going to take any of his shine away, but he kind of went from thinking maybe this industry isn't for him and that he's maybe in the wrong space. I know he always jokes around, and I'm sure he'll use this term a lot. He says he used to have imposter syndrome. He wasn't sure if this is really something that he was meant to do. Then he came across this platform, and it completely changed his ways, and to the point where he was a top producer in multiple organizations. So without further ado, Annalise, if you can maybe or grant the permissions to Robbins, and then I'll let him let you know his story. But yeah, here's Robbins Dorville, and I'll let him go ahead and take the wheel here.
Awesome, awesome. Can you guys hear me okay?
Yep, I can hear you great.
Okay, awesome. I don't see it actually had me restart the meeting. Okay, there it is. Show my screen. All right, can you see my screen now?
Yes,
Yep.
perfect.
Perfect. All right, so this is my contact information. My name is Robbins Dorville, account executive with Ringy. I've been with the company almost 2 years now, but I've been using the software since 2018. My background before getting into health insurance is real estate. So I was a realtor, investor. I did a lot of the what do you call it? Door to door, speak to people face to face. But obviously the market crashed, and I had a couple of years of some bad times there, and then I got into some very serious debt. And then I had to figure something out, and ended up starting to work with this health insurance company. But it was an hour drive for me every morning. But I had a couple of friends that were doing great with it. I said, let me give it a shot. I felt confident in my sales skill. I just felt, but this way it'll be a little different because I'm going to do it a little bit over the phone now. So I ended up getting hired, started with the company, and then it was brutal. It was brutal for the first month. I wasn't making any money at all. I was driving on the road almost 3 hours a day. I was just racking up debt, racking up debt. I didn't understand. I wasn't talking to folks. I was buying leads. I didn't understand why I wasn't converting them. But and like Carlos mentioned, I thought I had imposter syndrome. I'm like, I thought I was a really good a salesperson, but I guess I'm not doing that great. But to give my history with Carlos, for some reason, at that company, because I used to work with him at the company as well, Carlos, for some reason, would just relax for a few days, and then out of nowhere, you would see him be on the top of the leaderboard. And I never understood why he was consistently up top. Then there was a couple of folks in that office that were consistently doing well, but no one wanted to share their secret. And that's when I found out that Ringy was the software that they were using, but because of a competitive advantage, people weren't sharing the secret. So I got a hold. Everybody went on a cruise, and then one of the guys that stayed behind told me what software folks were using. And at the time, Ringy was $199 a month. It's actually almost triple what you guys would be paying now. And I said, you know what? Let me give it a shot. And once I started using the software, I realized the problem wasn't me. The problem was I just wasn't getting in contact with enough people. So what Ringy did for me was help me reach a lot of folks. The power of texting was extremely efficient at the time. And then the power of when I worked with volume of leads, like let me give you an example. Some of you guys are working with spreadsheets. Some of you guys are working manually one at a time with your leads. But let's just use 100 leads that you're working with at one time. And let's say you got all 100 leads all in one shot. Well, here's the problem. When you get 100 people that's raising their hands, you may have 30 of them that's serious, 20 of them they're curious, and the rest are just going to tell you to go to hell, right? But the problem is the 30 that are serious are scattered within the 100 leads. So if you're working your leads one at a time, and you say you get the lead one, you get the lead two, you get the lead three, well, lead number 29 might have been ready to do a deal with you right away, but you took too long to get to that lead and another agent picked them up. So that's where I had an advantage as a new agent with the software is as soon as a person goes online, they're inquiring about coverage. They're inquiring about your product. Sometimes they're assuming that they're going to get the quote online, but the response they get, it states that an agent is going to reach out to them. Well, if you're buying leads, that lead is provided to you inside of Ringy, and you're contacting that lead within the first 5 minutes, which is extremely important with the intent when someone wants to purchase, let's for example, life insurance or health insurance. Your chances go up a lot higher when you're contacting that person. So speed to lead was the power that I had with Ringy. So not only was I getting to these people faster, I was also able to use the skills that I've crafted over time to convert more. Okay, so if you have 100 leads, you're going to get to the low hanging fruits first. The folks who are not interested, they're going to let you know you're not interested, so you're not wasting your time calling them over and over and over. And then the ones you haven't reached out to, that's where the software helps you continue reaching out to those folks while you continue bringing in the low hanging fruit, so no lead falls through the cracks. Okay, so that's the what Ringy did for me in a nutshell. But the other problem that I had before, and that like Carlos mentioned before, is I had to deal with 10 different softwares. I had the email software, I had the texting software, I had another phone software. So if I contacted someone and I, gave them a quote, if they called me back, I don't know which software to pull up or where they were. So that's the great part about Ringy. Everything is centralized. It's an all-in-one system. I basically call it the cheat code. You're basically hiring a virtual assistant, um, but instead of paying a minimum wage where you're going to pay like $1,300 a month, you have the software. In your guys' case, you're only paying $69 a month for the first 3 months, and then $99 a month from that point, right? So I'm humbled to even be talking about Ringy still, because I'll be honest with you, I got a little greedy. I used to say, you know what, there's other software that's better. Let me try a different software, and I've tried maybe 6 or 7 softwares, and every single time I found myself coming right back to Ringy, not only because it was efficient, it's user friendly, and it did everything that I wanted on the front end in terms of prospecting, is the nurturing. It helped me with that with the clients that I were trying to reach out to. And then post sale, post sale, post sale, post sale. Very, very important. I've spoken to a lot of Levinson agents. I've spoken to a lot of other agents. A lot of you guys are not only dealing with one product. The one thing in sales, when someone knows you, like you, they will always buy from you. If someone bought one product from you, you could always cross promote another product. Some of you guys are selling dental, some of you guys are selling health, some of you guys are selling life. You will get folks that you'll be able to run campaigns to after you sell them inside of Ringy to promote a different product or get your referrals. So you could be doing 300 actions with per hour with that software, the more and more you start to go into it. So I can talk for days and days and hours with Ringy. This is why I end up working with the company, because I do have passion doing my demos. I love to go through the discovery questions. And as we go through the discovery questions, I kind of give my little tips of, what worked for me and what worked for other agents with the software. And I personally think this is just the beginning with Ringy, because we're continuously taking feedback from clients. We're very hungry on trying to be the best and the most affordable in the market. So I think you guys should stay tuned and see the different products that we'll be adding on, like Carlos mentioned, with this product as well. So, my name is Robin Dorver, as I mentioned. You have my number here, 720-809-8174. You can email me any questions that you have. If you're already with Ringy, contact me. Any tips you'd like to have as well, let me know. If you end up signing up with us and I'm assigned as your account manager, you get to work with me one-on-one as well. So a lot of my clients, what they do, they book an appointment from my booking page, which looks just like this. They go in, they put an appointment. Once they set that appointment, and then I go in and I help them on a daily basis. So just to give you a quick example, if you look at my text inbox, the green here are clients of mine. These are clients that are reaching out on a regular basis, even on the weekends, asking different questions. And I follow up with you as well on a regular basis just to make sure that you're doing well with the software. Okay. So once again, I'm humble. Thank you guys for having me. I don't know if we're going to do a Q&A at the end of this, but I really, really appreciate this. It's just becoming more of a testimony for me with Ringy. And I hope that I can serve you guys, anyone that needs help with the software as well. Thank you so much.
Yeah, no, definitely not off the hook yet, Robbins, because I want to touch a little more on your experience, being an agent, and that's one of the main reasons I wanted you here.
Uh-huh.
You spent a lot of time on different areas of insurance, right? I know you dealt with life a bit, you dealt with health a bit,
Uh-huh.
and I remember personally seeing, we talked a bit in the beginning, and I remember seeing you in the office, and it's funny, the three of us are on this call. I've been with Ringy since 2018. Prior to that, I was also I started in the life insurance space. During the health insurance boom, I kind of switched over to that sector. And that's kind of how I came across this. I was an original pilot user when Ringy first came out, but all three of us were in that space. And Rob, I remember seeing you in the office, 12-hour days. Sometimes, you look pretty stressed out. Seeing you, and I still have like vivid images of that. And then I just remember seeing you on our Friday meetings, getting called up every single week. And having much success. And that's something that, I definitely want you to kind of emphasize a little more. What would you say was the biggest difference for you as an agent when you made that transition, other than reaching out to those clients? Did it allow you more freedom for the job itself? Did it give you more time to do other things with your life in general, outside of just obviously the automations and the outreach? Did it change the way that your daily life, because I know that was a big part of not having a system, right? You're kind of just, for lack of better terms, you're kind of just chained to your desk trying to make as many calls as you can and just get somebody on the horn. Did you see a change in just the way that you went about life in general, which sounds kind of crazy to think about when you're just talking about a software, but I know for me that was one of the biggest things. And you said that I would just kind of sit back. Wouldn't say I sat back, but it definitely took that stressor away when you're working a full commission job, and you have bills to pay and mortgages and kids to feed and all that. It could be stressful when you're not getting appointments and you're not putting in applications. But with this software, I know for me at least, just knowing that I'm putting some leads into the software, whether it be a lead vendor integration or I have a list that I'm uploading, I knew, without fail, that by the end of the day or the next day, I was going to have some appointments because of the automation. And it allowed me to not have to work 12-hour days, 6-7 days a week. I lived a more balanced lifestyle because, again, it was almost like somebody was working for me, but really it was just Ringy working for me. Did you experience anything like that? And maybe you can share some of your personal insight on that.
Sure. So the first thing, like I mentioned earlier, I used to drive, and I used to be on the road 3 hours a day, an hour and a half each way, with traffic. Um, Before using Ringy, my process was one lead at a time. Like anything that I did, it was either one phone call at a time, or one text at a time, or one email at a time. I wasn't really hitting the masses. But what I like the most, and this is what you appreciate about Ringy the most, I'll be honest with you, is I would have days where I'm driving home, and while driving, a text message went out to a group of leads at a certain time that was scheduled, and someone would raise their hand and say, "Hey, I'm ready to go now." And I cannot tell you how many times I parked on the side of 995 to close deals from a text that I did not send, and then the software did for me. So that's
Yep.
the number one. Obviously, it improved the relationship with my wife and I, because I had the peace of mind that if I did go to the beach, my business did not stop. That was number one. My business did not stop at all. Um, but but if if I had to go back to it all, And it's this, to be honest with you, listen, we're in times now where the sale may get a little tougher. You have to be a little bit more creative. I like what you guys have now with the instant approval. Things like that are going to be coming out on a regular basis, and those are tools you'll have to provide the clients. You're going to need a software like ours to help you get out there with them, and you need to be evergreen. You need something going on all the time in your business. Some people are branding online. Some people are doing email nurtures. You have to do something where it's not just one action at a time. If you're only doing manual phone calls, or you're just jotting things down on notebooks or spreadsheet, I promise you, time will leave you behind, because the technology folks are getting more and more apt to technology now. And with Ringy, you'll be able to get a lot more of your time back, but at the same time, leverage a lot more. And the biggest thing for me when I started, I was dead broke. I remember spending about $12,000 buying leads and got nowhere before I used Ringy. And I was terrified to buy leads after that. But like Carlos mentioned, once he uploaded a spreadsheet or he was buying leads, he knew he was going to get an appointment. After I started making a couple of sales, I got to a point where I didn't care to spend $1,000 a week on leads, because I was confident that I was going to reach out to the folks that I needed to provide them the skill and the product that they were looking for. So that I can say is the epiphany for me with it.
Yeah, that's awesome. Yeah, and it's cool. Just again, we were in your guys' shoes, right? Maybe different verticals, but everyone that's on this call right now at some point was client face in the insurance industry, and we can completely relate to that. And I think that's a big part of how our software has grown. And though we do deal with multiple verticals, right? We deal with all kinds of businesses. Insurance is always going to be our strong suit, and it's because that's where we all stem from, right? So when I'm giving feature feedback to our development team, I'm thinking of it as an agent, right? And I was also a manager in a GA, right? I ran a GA at one point, so I also have that mindset. And anytime a developer or my CEO comes to me and says, "Hey, what do you think about this?" I don't think of it just from research or me, going through Google or watching YouTube. I think of it directly from your shoes. What would I need from an agency owner standpoint, from a broker standpoint? What would I need to make sure that this software is optimal for me? So that's a big reason why we'll always have a pretty big footprint in the insurance space. And, we've grown tremendously. I mean, we've had 2,000 plus new clients over the past 2 years. And that's for a reason. And we stay steady. We've never had a monstrous dip in our client base. People come and they use it and they stick with it for a reason. And that's something you brought up a really good point, Robbins. For any of you that are new, any of you that haven't been doing this too long, I'm sure there's people that have been doing this longer than I've been alive. I'm 33, so I'm sure there's people that have been doing this longer than I've been alive, right? But here's the thing. In this industry, it could be really, really hard, right? Especially when you first start. Any job that's completely commission based, it's stressful at first, especially if you don't have the funds to dump into your business. So one of the biggest pushbacks I would get from people when I was maybe a manager or even an agent myself, and I'd hear feedback, people were scared to invest in themselves because they're thinking, and rightfully so, well, I've been here for 2 months. I haven't gotten a commission check yet. I don't know if I can spend the money on this right now, right? I don't know if I can afford this, which is kind of where we came up with the 2-week free trial. We want you guys to see it yourself and get an appointment or two out of there, get a sale or two out of there. And I always say this, I was in the insurance space myself. I know what the commissions can be like. One sale that comes from Ringy will pay for your account for the year, for the entire year, just one deal. It could be a short-term policy. If you're in the health side, it could be, a 26-year-old male insurance, maybe a couple of supplements. It'll pay for your software, right? So that's the main thing I want you guys to know is, and everything we're saying is completely candid. It's all true. We didn't just make up a story for this webinar. I've known Robbins personally, and I kind of saw his journey. He's completely sincere, and that's why I wanted him to speak. He was very much a licensed agent for years, and used this software. And I saw it truly transform, the way that he did business. So that's something to keep in mind. For those of you that have been doing this for a long time, I talk to a client or two daily, maybe every other day, that has been doing this since the 80s, right? And when you talk to somebody like that and you show them a software, a lot of times, I do get some pushback, like, no, I've been doing this for 20 years, Carlos. I've been successful doing this, right, or doing that. There's a reason that you reached out to us, right? The technology is taking over. I may work for a tech company, but I'm not the most tech savvy person there is. I'm still kind of old school in some of my methods. But the fact is, if you're not adapting to some sort of technology, you are, like Robin said, you are going to be left behind, because there is going to be somebody who is utilizing technology that's just going to get the speed to lead. And that's everything right now. There's a lot of licensed agents out there, right? And if you're not leveraging something to get an upper hand with your business, with these leads, these forms that are being filled out, somebody else is, and that's kind of where it comes into play. Speed to lead is everything, right? So if you can touch more people, that's more people you can help. That's more policies that you can submit. The last thing I'm gonna touch on here, it won't spend too much more time, and then I'm gonna give the floor back to Bill. I have Peter here. He's also somebody that, and then Elise, you can stop with Robin's. Yeah, thank you. Another account executive with us. He was also in the insurance space. He was mainly on the health side. He deals with our clients on a daily basis. Does maybe 5-6 demos a day with prospects that have interest in our software. I want him to touch a little bit on maybe some client feedback that he's received, just so you guys can hear it from an account executive from Ringy who talks to people just like you, and just some feedback, some cool success story that he's had, and then we'll turn it back over to Bill. So I don't think Peter has anything to share, Annalise, as far as a screen, so we can just leave it on yours. But Peter, if you want to unmute yourself, introduce yourself, and go ahead and just give us a couple of cool success stories that maybe you thought of.
Great. Thank you so much for the introduction, Carlos. So I'm Peter Villar. I'm an account executive with the company. So I have some pretty cool stories regarding some clients that have been using the software. A big thing like Robbins was speaking of, when you're a fresh agent with a new company, you want to get in contact with your prospects. So through the automations that we provide with our platform here, it was able to get in contact with their leads a little bit more efficiently than doing it manually on their end. So for this one client of mine personally, it was a game changer for him. It changed his whole entire year around. He was not tech savvy at all. So the beauty about our software is it's very user friendly. He was able to plug and play and start using the software. So with that being said, he was able to get a $200,000 IRA rollover on his account. The beauty about that changed his whole entire year for him. He was able to secure that for himself, change his whole entire revenue for the year. That paid for a subscription, essentially for a few years there as well. But his big problem was getting in contact with his leads. He was calling them every single day, manually following up with texting and email. So for our software, it put him in the place where he needed to be at the correct time, and it followed up with his leads even when he didn't have to, when the days when he wasn't working. So that's a really cool story on his behalf, but kind of like what Robbins was saying as well, when you're fresh with a new company, some people do have some doubt in you if you're going to be able to perform. So I had an agent that was starting with this company. He was there for about a month or 2 months. Everybody with the company was telling him to give up, start a new job, go back to his old job because of what he was doing wasn't working for him. But his problem, he just wasn't able to get in contact with his leads. So for the software was following up with him, he was sending the booking page links to his prospects. They were able to book with him at his early inconvenience, and he was able to get on his appointments, close his deals, and move on to the next prospect. So his days of him going door to door, his days manually following up with leads, manually texting them and emailing them, that was completely out the window because we provided the automations to be in place for his prospects.
Nice. And the prospect you were talking about that had that 200K rollover, if I remember correctly, that's somebody that was kind of seasoned, right? He was in the industry for quite some time, but he just he wasn't finding efficiency in his business from what I remember you told me, and it was kind of, he was looking for an edge, right, or an upper hand, and he was doing it for a while, and he had a ton of data, right, and he just wanted to do something with it, kind of like what we refer to as a database reactivation. And he uploaded those leads through our system, and next thing you know, he gets a response from one of those older leads, and next thing you know, he lands a 200K IRA rollover almost within days of using our software. And that's somebody that wasn't just fresh, right? He's been in the industry for quite some time. So that was a pretty cool story, if I remember that correctly. That's right, with that gentleman, right, Pete?
That is correct, 100%.
Cool. Yeah, so thanks for jumping on, Peter. I know we got 10 minutes left, and I know you guys are busy. So I want to hand this back over to Bill and Robbins and Peter. Thanks for the feedback and the stories and testimonials here. But I'm going to hand it back over to Bill, and we'll see you guys next week.
Yeah, no, that was great. That was absolutely excellent. I so appreciate it. And I just want everyone to know the part two is going to be totally different with more value add, all based around this platform. And I also want to mention too, and Carlos brought this up, it doesn't matter, and I think you heard this several times from the guest speakers as well, but if you're 17, fresh out of school or in your 80s, they will help you get your arms around the platform. And basically, you focus on selling and you let the platform literally go on autopilot once you're set up. And an easy way to look at it, right, in layman's terms here, think about if you've been doing this for 7 years, 15 years, whatever it is, 2 years, think about every person that you spoke to at one time or another, right? Could be a neighbor, friend, someone from a seminar, webinar, they replied to your email, your Facebook ads, whatever it is, okay? Think about you're doing this for 7 years now. Everyone that you were ever in contact with during that 7 year period, okay, put them all in a bucket. And maybe you can separate them into, interested in IUL or interested in mortgage protection or a policy holder I already sold to, whatever it is, right? So everyone is in this bucket. And this system is allowing you, let's say Bill Levinson, the life insurance agent, to touch every single one of them on a weekly or monthly basis or every other month with a new message, right? Maybe it's to talk about the renewal. Maybe it's to talk about the conversion, whatever it is. It allows you, let's say you went on vacation for 4 days, you're on a cruise in the Bahamas. This system is reaching out to everyone in your bucket with a unique message on behalf of you and the way they want to be communicated by or to, okay? Through texting, through email, through a phone call. If you have someone that clicks a button to call them personally, whatever it is, it's keeping your name in front of everyone. You come back from that cruise, right, on Monday morning, and guess what? Out of the 3,000 people that you spoke to over the last 7 years, now there's 62 people that set up an appointment to speak to you that week, and it's all in your shared calendar. And it all happened with zero effort on your part because you were on a cruise in the Bahamas. That, in a nutshell, is how Ringy works. And that's it. You don't have to be a rocket scientist to get your arms around the concept. And I know it sounds overwhelming. And I know yet you're hearing some words maybe you never heard before. Okay? I get it. But if you think about it in that way, I think it will make a lot of sense. And as salespeople, which you all are, the key is to keep your name in front of your prospects and clients all the time. So when long-term care comes up, they remember, oh, Bill Levinson's the long-term care guru in South Florida. I got to call him. I'm not calling Shelly, who sent out an e-blast. I never even met her before. I want to call Bill. I loved him 5 years ago. He had a cool haircut, whatever it is. You have to keep your name fresh in front of these people. And that's what the system does. That's it. Okay, so how to get started. Now, you obviously have to be active with Levinson, okay, just as long as you have at least one carrier appointment. And then you get to take advantage of our discount. If we can go to the next slide, there we go, perfect. How to get started. So agent tools, right? Ringy CRM, bottom right corner, and that's where you're going to put in your request to get your 30% discount. 2-week free trial, right? Or think about this for a minute. You pay your $69, $69.95 for 6 months, then it goes to $99, zero contract. So that's a big deal. Okay, they're not handcuffing you to anything. And you don't even have to pay for the first 2 weeks. And if you decide you don't want it, that's fine too. So we make it very, very simple. Let's keep moving along. Okay, now you're also thinking, right? You have this bucket I just explained, and you want to think about new leads, right? Fresh leads. How am I going to keep filling the bucket? Yeah, I have everyone I spoke to the last 7 years and I sold to, everyone's in this bucket. Great. But I want to fill this with fresh blood, okay? New people. So we have various programs, okay, that all have co-op discounts, just like we have with Ringy, okay, with our Facebook leads. Left-hand side, I have never seen a response like this program on the left side. Okay, Facebook leads, non-med up to $1 million leads. And I'm telling you right now, out of every batch, we're seeing 3 to 5 policies sold. And these are larger cases. Okay, so that's a great, great deal we negotiated, and the minimum has dropped. So that means lower startup costs for you. Now, on the right-hand side is the same exact platform as the left side, but for final expense. Now, if we can go to the next slide here, what I want to explain is, yeah, you're seeing $20 a lead, $30 a lead, okay? And you're saying, Bill, I just want to fill my bucket, okay? We have these second chance leads that are $2 a lead. They're $2 a lead, and you can fill your Ringy CRM bucket with these prospects, okay, to make and set up the appointment for you. So what I would suggest when we say second chance leads, that means the lead was sold, right, during the first 6 months. No one reached back out to the agent, okay? That's considered second chance. Now, you know as well as I do, if that agent didn't have Ringy or didn't follow up properly, right, the sale isn't made until number 5 through 12 follow up or touch. So chances are the agent didn't follow up. Here you come, right, month number 7 or month, whatever it is, month number 9, right, you're following back up, you're touching consistently, persistently, you get the sale. So that's a great way to fill your pipeline, okay, $2 a lead. Now, the mailer program in front of you, we're launching the first day of November. And here's what's neat about this. This is annuity leads, okay, and life insurance leads. You get to pick. This is a negotiated co-op price. We're seeing about a 2% return, $530 for 1,000 mailers, everything included. And then you get to pick. We have a custom landing page that we are launching within the next week or so. So that's very exciting. Some great options for you to choose from. Okay, let's keep moving. I want to get everybody out in 3 minutes here on time. Okay, next up is our scorecard. So this is launching tomorrow. So when you log into our website, you will see your dashboard, and then you can click on your scorecard. Let's move to the next slide, and you can see all the benchmarks and pie charts. This is going to tell you about all of your business with Levinson, how many were postponed, how many missed opportunities, how many approvals, and then were those approvals made within 15 days or 20 days, and are you far off from the rest of the Levinson agents, right? You get to benchmark. So everything is in a nutshell for you. Obviously, this is all complimentary. And then if you have an agency, you obviously have access to every downline agent as well. So you can see their numbers and missed opportunities and everything else. This is life, annuity, everything involved with your business at Levinson. Let's keep moving. So if you want to learn more about Ringy and what it's all about, how did this whole idea get started, right? So I sat down with Bradley and Carlos. Bradley's the CEO, and we discussed for about almost an hour, about 52 minutes, all the ins and outs, the story, how it began, success stories, all the above. This is a podcast number 38 that we're going to include in today's thank you email that you'll have before the day is up. But I highly encourage you to check out this podcast. It was awesome. Okay, and I'm sure you're going to see these guys at the 2023 Levinson Expo once again live. All right, let's keep moving along. These are the future trainings. So the one that I wanted to highlight, and the one you better be on, especially if you want to win, because we got to literally almost $4,000 in giveaways, prizes, and leads. Okay, write this down. November 3rd, 3 p.m. Eastern Time, which is next week. So do not miss the part 2, and we're going to make it totally different. Lots of value add, lots of nuggets, and obviously we want you to change the way that you've been doing business, okay, for 7 years or for 60 years. It doesn't make a difference. This is going to help automate your complete back office. Let's go to the last slide here in our giveaways. I know this is the moment we've all been waiting for, my favorite time. This is my Positive Tuesday quote. This is our way of keeping our name in front of our agents, right? Through social media and through our website. Just when you think it's all falling apart, it's actually all falling together. Just keep moving forward with your right foot on the gas 24/7. Innovate, right? I always say you got to look straight ahead at what today has to bring, right? And what you can bring to the table, but you also have to look to the left to see what's coming next, right? What tools can you leverage to change your business? Just like our new term product, just like Insure Me Now Direct. If we didn't think like that, we wouldn't have all these tools and tech. You got to do the same thing as an insurance agent. Okay, you know how it works. You know what's happening right now. Okay, our giveaways. We have 2 questions and 2 giveaways. Okay, the first question, we are giving away 6 months of a Ringy subscription. Okay, you answer first, you get 6 months free. Okay, the second question, we're giving away the new Fire 10 tablet. Okay, so you have to answer first and correctly, and we're going to announce the winner right now live. So the first question, real fast. Okay, make sure your little fingers are on your keyboard. You're ready to answer. Use that little Q&A box. You tell me, what is the podcast episode number where I included the Ringy CEO, Brad and Carlos? Tell me the episode number of the podcast I just mentioned, and you win 6 months free Ringy, over $600 of value. Whoever answers first wins. Annalise, do we have a winner?
All right, Bill, the winner here is Rich S.
Rich S, congrats. It was number 38, episode number 38. Richard S, congrats. Question 2. You got one more shot if you didn't win after subscribing to Ringy. How long is the contract? After subscribing to Ringy, CRM tool that we just went over, how long is the contract? Okay, you tell us the correct answer and you win. And Annalise is going to tell us who the winner is of the Fire 10 tablet. Just came out. Annalise?
That'll be Ben S.
Ben S. The answer was 0. There is no contract with Ringy. Little bit of a trick question. Congrats, Rich and Ben. This was awesome. Make sure you're on part 2. We're giving away most of the prizes, incentives, and again, lots of value. And the main purpose is for you to walk away with nuggets. I want you to understand how the platform works. Change the way you've been doing business, okay? Let's have a great Thursday, a great rest of the week, great selling, okay? And remember one thing, and I'll just leave you with this. We don't get a penny if you subscribe, okay? If one of you does, if 10 million of you do, doesn't matter, okay? Here's what we win. We win you selling more product. We don't get paid until you sell. So obviously, we want to relay the message. We want you comfortable. We want you selling more product, helping more families. And that's how we win, okay? It's no secret recipe here. That's it. Becomes a win-win-win. Let's have a great day. Thanks again, everyone.